Dallas Cowboys may have found a hidden gem in this year's draft. While the headlines have been dominated by Micah Parsons' contract drama and CeeDee Lamb's elite rise, there's a new name quietly gaining steam in both the locker room and the fantasy football world. That name, Jaydon Blue. And today, we're breaking down why the rookie running back, taken in the 5th round, is starting to look like not just a key piece for the Cowboys' offense, but a potential breakout star in fantasy leagues across the country. Welcome back to Dallas Game Day, the go-to channel for everything Cowboys. If you love this team the way we do, you're in the right place. Now, let's dive into the story and explain why Jaydon Blue is turning heads, challenging veterans, and possibly transforming the Cowboys' offensive backfield in 2025. And Cowboys Nation, we want to hear from you. Do you think Blue has what it takes to become a star in Dallas? Should he be getting more first-team reps? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'll be reading every one of them. Let's start with the facts. Brian Schottenheimer, the Cowboys' offensive coordinator and a strong voice inside the locker room, made it clear this offseason. Dallas wants to play smash-mouth football. No more finesse. No more dancing around. They're looking to hit defenses in the mouth, run the ball downhill, and dominate the trenches. And that kind of philosophy demands a very specific type of running back. One who's not afraid of contact, one who's explosive through the gaps, and most importantly, one who can stay on the field in every situation. Enter Jaydon Blue. According to Pro Football Focus, he may be exactly the type of back who thrives in this scheme. And not only that, he's the most fantasy-relevant option in a crowded Cowboys backfield. Now, this might surprise a lot of people. After all, the depth chart says he's RB3 behind Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams. But here's what PFF and the film is telling us. Don't sleep on this rookie. Let's talk production. Last season at Texas, Jaydon Blue averaged 5.4 yards per carry on 149 rushing attempts. That's already impressive, but here's where he separates himself from the pack. 517 of those rushing yards came after contact. That tells us this kid is not going down on first hit. He's got balance, toughness, and the ability to make something out of nothing. But where Blue really shines, and this is what makes him so dangerous, is in the passing game. He led all SEC running backs in receiving yards with 365. He had 6 receiving touchdowns, 41 receptions, and an eye-popping 400 yards after the catch. That kind of versatility is rare for a rookie and even rarer for one taken on day 3 of the draft. That's not just depth chart filler, that's starter-level production. And in today's NFL, where running backs are asked to do more than just run between the tackles, a weapon like Blue can change the shape of your offense. PFF summed it up simply. Blue is the preferred target due to his receiving upside. And let's be real here. In fantasy football, versatility is king. You want players who can rack up points on the ground and through the air. If Blue starts getting real snaps, and all signs are pointing to him trending in that direction, he could end up being the fantasy steal of the year. Of course, there's competition. Miles Sanders is a veteran. He knows how to handle pressure, and he's been a 1,000-yard rusher in this league. But he's also struggled with consistency and durability. Javonte Williams, on the other hand, was a big name out of Denver, but has yet to fully recover his explosiveness after injury. Both of these guys bring talent and experience, but Jaydon Blue brings something they don't: freshness, hunger, and a completely clean slate. And that's not being unnoticed by the Cowboys coaching staff. Blue has been earning more reps in practice. He's catching passes from the first-team offense. And Schottenheimer loves running backs who can block, catch, and create mismatches. All things Blue excels at. Now let's be clear here. It's still early. The regular season hasn't kicked off yet, and preseason reps are going to tell us a lot. But if you're reading between the lines, the opportunity is there. The backfield is wide open. No one has locked down that RB1 role, and Jaydon Blue is doing everything right to seize it. He's not just challenging for touches, he's changing the narrative. Let's zoom out for a moment and look at the bigger picture. Dallas is a team looking to reestablish its identity. The offensive line has been revamped. The quarterback room is under pressure to deliver. CeeDee Lamb is one of the best receivers in the league, and the defense, led by Micah Parsons, is elite. But what's been missing? A consistent, multi-dimensional running game. Ever since the departure of Ezekiel Elliott and the disappointing end of the Pollard era, the Cowboys haven't had a back they can fully trust. That changes if Jaden Blue steps up. If this rookie continues to rise, Dallas doesn't just find their RB1, they find a new identity on offense. Think about it. Imagine a scenario where Blue is catching swing passes, motioning out of the backfield, picking up blitzes, and giving Dak Prescott another outlet. That's the kind of weapon that changes drives, changes games, and maybe, just maybe, changes the outcome in January. Cowboys Nation, it's time to start paying attention to Jaden Blue. This isn't just preseason hype. The numbers, the fit, the coaching philosophy, it's all lining up for this rookie to make real noise in 2025. Whether you're building your fantasy roster or just dreaming of the Cowboys getting back to the top of the NFC, Jaden Blue might be the name that defines this next chapter. A fifth-round pick with first-round production? That's how dynasties are born. But now we turn it over to you. Do you believe the hype? Should Jaden Blue be RB1 in Dallas? Or is it too soon to trust a rookie in such a big role? Let us know in the comments. We want to hear your take. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Dallas Game Day, and share this with every diehard Cowboys fan you know. Because the future is bright in Dallas, and Jaden Blue might be the reason why. This is Dallas Game Day. We'll see you next time.